Illustrator Chapter 2C. Next, we're going to distribute objects evenly. Distributing objects using the Align panel enables you to select multiple objects and distribute the spacing among them equally. We're going to make the spacing between the orange shapes even using a distribution method. So I'm going to get my selection tool and go to select, and I'm going to select robot mouth. And now I'm going to click the horizontal distribution center button in the control panel, which looks like this. That's vertical. Sorry, I gotta move over. Vertical distribution. I need horizontal distribution. There it is. I've just had to move to it. Distributing will move all of the orange shapes so that the spacing between the center of each object is equal. And that spread it way out. We don't want that the same. So we're going to undo, go to Edit, Undo Align, and I'm going to deselect. So now let's zoom in, and I'm going to again make a selection. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click and drag the right orange shape slightly to the left. So click, Shift, and drag, click, then hold down the Shift key and drag to the left. Okay. Now I am going to go back to Select and pick up Robot Mouth. I need to change something here because I don't want to align to Artboard. I want this aligning to my selection. And when I do that, and now I go to my horizontal distribute center, I'm going to keep that alignment within the insides of the two outermost objects, which is a whole lot different than aligning this to the artboard. So make sure when you're aligning this that the shape that you have the correct selection, which I didn't see in the book, to make sure that we have the align to selection selected rather than align to artboard. When I align to artboard, it's going to put that, it's going to make everything go spread across the entire artboard rather than within the grouping. And now you can deselect by clicking off to the side. Now they're going to talk about aligning content to the artboard rather than to a selection or to a key object. Aligning to the artboard aligns each selected object separately to the artboard, which is what I did in the beginning. First, we're going to get the half circle shape on the artboard with the rest of the robot, and then we're going to align it to the bottom center of the artboard. So let me go to View and Fit All in Window again. And now I'm going to select the gray half circle shape, and I'm going to go to Edit and Cut. Now I want to select Previous Artboard, which will take me to the first one, View, Fit Artboard in Window, and now I'm going to Edit, Paste, which is going to put that half circle right smack in the middle of the artboard. So now I'm going to, with it still selected, I'm going to click the Align to Selection button, and I want to change that to Align to Artboard. And now I can click the horizontal align center button just in case it did not center it, but it did. And then I'm going to click the vertical align bottom, which moves the robot's body down to the bottom of the image. Then we can click off to the side to deselect it. You can combine objects into groups so that the objects get treated as a single unit. That way you can move or transform a number of objects without affecting their individual attributes or their relative positions. So we're going to select some multiple objects and create a group from them. First of all, we want to view Fit All in Window. Oops, not Fit Artboard. Fit All in Window so we can see both artboards. Now we're going to select the robot mouth, and I'm going to go to Object, Group, and we now have a group for this selection. And if you look over here on the control panel, you can see now that this says that it's a group. All I need to do, I can click off to deselect it. If I select one of the objects in the group, I'm now going to select the whole thing. And by now I can click on it and drag it over and put his mouth on his face. And again, deselect. The next thing we're going to do is work in isolation mode. Isolation mode isolates groups or sublayers so you can easily select and edit the specific objects or parts of objects without having to ungroup them. Well, in isolation mode, all the objects outside of the isolated group are locked and dimmed, so they aren't going to be affected by any of the edits you make. Next, we're going to edit a group using isolation mode. So with the selection tool, we're going to click at the robot's hand at the end of the longer arm. You can see that it selects a group of shapes that make up the hand. If we double click the shape, we're now in isolation mode. The rest of the contents in the document are dimmed. We can't select it. It's only because I've clicked several times outside of it that it's put me back. But all I need to do is double click again and I'm done, or I'm back to the isolation mode. At the top of the document window, a gray bar shows Layer 1 and Group. This means that we've isolated a group of objects that's on Layer 1. So right now, we're going to turn off our Smart Guides. So we're going to go to View and go down to Smart Guides and select that which is going to deselect Smart Guides. And that way when we drag this around, it's not going to snap to any of their content. So I'm going to drag the light gray circle, this one, down to match the position of the circle shape in the other hand, which is down here, right at the bottom of the V. There we go. Pretty good, pretty close. There. Now, when we entered isolation mode, the groups are temporarily ungrouped so that we can edit the objects in the group. So now all I need to do is double click outside of the group and I'm returned out of isolation mode. Now if I click the circle shape, I'm picking up the entire group again. And I'll just click to deselect. Groups can also be nested, or you can group within other objects or other groups to form larger groups. Nesting is really common when doing design artwork, and it's a great way to keep associated content together. So now we're going to create a nested group. With the selection tool again, we're going to drag across the black shapes below the hand that we just worked on that make up the longer arm of the robot. So do this, and we've got a group. We're going to go Object, Group, and now if you select one item, you're selecting all of them. Again, we're going to select this, and now we're going to Shift click, hold down your Shift key, and click on the hand, and again, we're going to go to Object, Group. We've just created a nested group. We have two groups that have been grouped together to form a larger group. And again, I just need to click to the side to deselect. If I select any object within this nested group, the whole thing is going to be selected.